So I've been researching animals lately, and through my thorough research, one of the topics that came up was animal cruelty. And now animal cruelty branches out through lots of different directions, most of them being very, very cruel and inhumane. So I decided to make a video on a specific type of animal cruelty, being animal caging. So here goes. Animals are just like us. They breathe like us, they communicate like us, they have feelings just like us humans. They're no different to us. Yet we continue to act as if we are superior to them. We cage millions of species of animals just for the mindless pleasure of us humans. Animals in zoos, amusement parks, circuses, all of it. They're being caged to the point that it's driving these animals mad. All types of animals captured and isolated in zoos will get a disease called zoochosis. According to the research conducted by the Born Free Foundation, it reveals that zoochosis is rampant in confined animals across the globe. Zoochosis is a disease that will cause animals to obsessively repeat useless behavior, such as pacing back and forth, tongue playing, bar biting, overgrooming, regurgitating, neck twisting, head bobbing. These symptoms have never been documented in the wild. So many detrimental behaviors, yet no one seems to care. We humans have failed to see the misery in their tortured souls, failed to see their voices begging to be seen, to be recognized, their empty eyes and broken spirits. And you know what's the worst bit about it? It's the fact that the people know. They have full knowledge that this is happening around the world in mass numbers, yet no one tries to stop it. Animals in amusement parks, zoos, all of it, they're being routinely beaten, they're denied everything natural to them. They're isolated, burned, electrocuted, brain damaged, and whipped into submission. Behind the cover of smiles, almost every zoo owner treats animals like machinery. Most zoo owners consider profits over the lives of animals. A former director of Atlanta Zoo once remarked that he was far too removed from the animals. They're the last thing he cares about with all the other problems. And what's even worse is what came out of the mouth of one zookeeper of elephants at San Diego Wild Animal Park. You have to motivate them, and the way to do this is to beat the heck out of them. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't talk about coaxing or cajoling them. He said to beat the heck out of them. There are over 10,000 zoos worldwide, and imagine the magnitude and number of animals suffering for our entertainment. Animals, they need space. Killer whales swim about 100 miles per day, yet the largest tank in SeaWorld Orlando is only about 170 feet. Elephants are very active. They're active for 18 hours a day. However, at UnravellingPlanetEarth's breeding foundation, elephants are chained 22 hours a day. The carnivores with enormous power and strength have become lousy strollers, strolling to and fro in some concrete caves. They seem to have forgotten their strength. Obviously, it's not like out in the wild for them. The smells, the surroundings are foreign to them. The isolation, the captivity, the lack of space, the suppression of natural instincts, not being able to hunt, not having their habitats, have killed them from their natural behaviors. Why should an animal be given a life sentence for a crime it didn't commit? These animals are living in captivity to satisfy the recreational thirst of us humans. Wouldn't you agree that this is a form of slavery? So, what can we do about it? Well, for a start, I propose a 3-part plan. Avoid zoos at all costs. Use animal-conscious alternatives. Support non-profit organizations that help animals. There are so many ways that we could help those animals in need. Simply, just don't take part in it all. Most zoos operate at a loss, which means if you avoid smaller roadside zoos at all costs, those substandard operations will be forced to close down. If you think that a trip to the zoo will help you learn about animals, then you're sorely wrong. An average child knows much more than a dinosaur than it does an elephant. You don't need animals locked in a cage to learn about them, because animals behave naturally when they're out in the wild, not when they're trapped. In this day and age, when we have film, 3D and all that, Why do we need to keep animals in a zoo? National Geographic and Animal Planet, for example, will give you much better, real information than a trip to the best zoo. And instead of supporting zoos, we should support groups that work to preserve habitats. There are so many international non-profit organizations like Captive Animal Protection Society, World Society for the Protection of Animals, that lobby at state and national levels to strengthen laws protecting animals worldwide. We can sign online petitions against animal cruelty, educate others to refrain from zoos, circuses, organize community boycotts, and pressurize local authorities and governments to pass legislations protecting animal rights. Alone, we can't stop this cruelty, but together we have the power. Let's stand up for what we know is right. Both animal and people deserve the same freedom. No amount of tradition, income, or entertainment can be an excuse for the cruel captivity of those who do not have a voice to fight for their own freedom. Don't be a part of the cruelty. Watch them live free. Love them live free.